Hey everyone, welcome to Tactical Tuesday. Tonight's topic is the biggest prepper failure. But hey, we're going to get to that in a second. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Got Corky up here with me.
What's up?
And I see Bruce in the side chat. I sent you the link, and this is something right up your alley from being in the EOC. So, what are we getting to here? All right, so first let's go down and see who all's in here. In the side chat, we got Uncle Al's in here first, then Miriam 420, and then we had Phelan Clan Wolf, Super Scout, Q Kitchen and Beyond. Let's see here, everyone's talking Suburban Hillbilly, King Poopa, aka Courtney's husband, Vitra, Shift Kickers here. Digs Outdoors, Kaylin Strain, Lewis is here, and coming on down here, Shift Kicker, already said that, everyone's saying hi, that's Hugo Homestead, means fun homestead in Danish, and let's see who else we got here. Backwoods Law, yep. Digs Outdoors, yeah, okay, I already said those. Klingon Princess, all right. Gear Grinding's here. The Kraken, Aideneer, and catching up here at the bottom here. All right, we're caught up. Everybody, hope everybody's doing good. Especially dealing with the freakish weather going around in different parts of the country here. Gosh, Sharon Williams, hey, Al. Yeah, how you doing there? And let's see, what do we got here? Okay, so tonight's topic, the biggest prepper failure. I know those that are those that were over on Gardner Joshua's live found out about what it is. But anyone that was not over there in the side chat, go ahead and say what you think the biggest failure of preppers is. Hey, Mary Beth Smith, Garden State Gardener, 30 inches for 30 inches of snow for New Jersey, and it just jumped. Where the heck did it jump? Man, it jumped all the way up there and out. Yeah, for wow. Okay. Statewide. Tina Weber's here. Hey, Tina. Trying to catch back up. Now I had to go back up, catch that. And that overconfidence can lead to the biggest failure. Although I would most likely say stupidity leads to the biggest failure on some people's parts. Others, it's just, oh, crud, shoot, I thought I had enough. Complacency, not prepping. Well, if they're not prepping, they're not a prepper, Bruce. Not knowing how to use your medical preps. Okay.
How about really just not stocking up the foods that you need? Like, people think that they can just live on beans and rice, and you can't just live on beans and rice. God, I would die. I would die. Yeah. My stomach would not be able to handle that.
Okay. All right. So basically, the biggest failure comes into parts of the rules of three. The first rule of three is 3 minutes without air and you die. And there's not much prepping you can do about that, but that's one of the rules of three. Idaho Garden Girl, hey, how you doing? Number 2 is 3 days without water. And of course, the third rule of three is 3 weeks without food. Well, it's that second rule, 3 days without water. So I had a little slideshow here. I jumped ahead of it. No, it's not preparing for failure to prepare for someone spraying anthrax or some other, powdered contaminant around. It's not the cities burning down to the ground, preparing for an urban wildfire. That's not their biggest, failure. Not stocking enough food, that's not the biggest failure, because remember, you can go 3 weeks without food. And no, it's not World War III either. Or everybody rioting in every city. Not prepping for that is not their biggest failure. And of course, you really can't prep for someone coming along and beaming everybody up, or everybody disappearing, turning to dust or whatever. And they all don't need to have a bomb shelter. And of course, they're always making some sort of contagion that can wipe just about everybody out. Fortunately, they keep it contained, or they destroy it thereafter. Just keep a single vial or two, in their deep, dark archives. And it's not worrying about volcanoes. That's not their biggest failure, is not worrying about volcanoes. It's, that's some places don't have them. And of course, for all of the people that love The Walking Dead, no, it's not the zombie apocalypse. It's not the biggest failure point. And it is, as you can see around Courtney and I, barrels of water. And seen, the fire going on down there at Big Sur. Yeah, I've been seeing that on the news and stuff. Yeah, California's burning again, folks. In the middle of winter, California's burning. Thank you, Governor Nuisance. And here's the thing that pisses me off. Yes, I'm going to be going off the rails a little bit here, but this one's not monetized. I'm not even close to being monetized on this channel yet. Governor Gay Van Nuisance, the great nuisance of California, when in December was the heaviest rainfall since 1936 or 37, I believe it was. They said in that article. And what did he tell all the state agencies and stuff to do? Dump water. Don't collect any of it. Just dump it. It's going to be like this for the next several months. There has been no rain in the San Francisco Bay Area since January 1st. 25 days without rain. And Oroville Dam is still beyond is stupid low. And so, I am highly pissed, pardon my French, at Governor Nuisance for the crap he's pulling and not saving the water. They could have, there are a lot of dams they could have filled up. They don't have to be low and dumping water to keep it from overflowing. They can be full and dumping water and not overflow. But no, he wanted them bone dry down there. I mean, he's trying to stop me from talking. And so, yeah, it's a situation there in California where things are really screwing up. Okay, CR just came in. What did I say? Did I see someone say hi to Christy? Anyways, it's bad there in California. And now they're trying to talk everybody, use less water for everything, use less water. We don't have enough water. Well, the reason you don't have any water because the stupid California government is dumping it. And, that's the thing is, so Southern California steals the water from Northern California and ships it down there so they can have their golf courses, their green lawns, and everything else when the rest of the state is on water rationing. Yet, when the big rainstorm is out in Death Valley and stuff, and they're out in the deserts, all flood and come rushing through the Los Angeles River right out into the ocean, they don't stop and collect any of it. None of it. So all the money they spent on the California aqueduct going to Southern California, they could have built a huge reservoir just by damming off a section of the desert and just let that water come in and collect.
Yeah.
But for preppers, hey, guys, this is important because if you're in California and they don't have any water, you ain't getting water in your municipality system when stuff goes. And so, having water stored is the biggest failure of preppers, survivalists. Sorry, Uncle Al. Of course, Uncle Al's the exception to the rule. He does have that his nephew's dairy farm, and they put in all sorts of extra water tanks out there, not only for the cows, but for themselves as well. But there is, and so, homesteaders, a lot of homesteaders, they've on it a little bit. I'll talk about homesteaders in a little bit, but preppers, they got all this food. They got everything else. They got all their guns. And I hate the channels that say the first thing you got to have is a gun.
So obnoxious.
Yeah. And these guys are saying, you got to buy my stuff to survive. And you got to buy these guns. And you got to get this. And you got to get these plate carriers. And you got to get all this other crap. Mm-hmm. No, first thing you need, what do you die in 3 days if you don't have? Water. And that's the biggest failure is water. Now, Dick says 3 year-round sources of water on this property. He has one seasonal source of water as well. Yeah. All right. What happens, Diggs? Not to nail you to the wall here. Just a question. What happens if the event is airborne contaminants to all the water? Here where I'm at, the city has 2 wells. They never use the one well except during a couple months in the spring when they switch wells off just to give the one well a rest and pump the other one to keep it fresh. So there's plenty of groundwater here. We have 2 days of irrigation rights out of the ditch that flows through the properties here during from May to October. Mm-hmm. So we got water being pulled out of the Snake River. Worst comes to worst, in a situation, we can go up there and open the gate and get the water flowing back through here so everybody can pull fresh water out of the Snake River from the irrigation ditches. But even with all that water here, I got 2 IBC totes in the shop there. One's a 330 gallon, the other one's a 275, and 2 55-gallon barrels full of water. Now, when my wife comes up here, we're getting 2 more IBC totes. And if my boys come up, we're getting another 2 for each of them when they come up. So
see, we have well water here, so I'm not really concerned about that.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm concerned about well water, and we had well water on my parents' property in California, and when other people started drawing, putting in wells and started drawing it way down, all of a sudden our nice fresh water started tasting like sulfur. Mm. And so they and we had to go down to the county and say, hey, who's putting in these extra wells? They're pulling the water down. We have priority water rights. And from 1960, you need to stop these guys and limit how much water they can pull out. And the county reluctantly, after several other people that had water rights even older than ours were threatening to sue the county, they finally went out and, actually capped off and backfilled 2 of the wells that people.
Yeah.
Hey, Lori.
Queen of the North.
Yep. So we got the Queen of the North, and we got CR from up north of the border. So when it comes to water, everyone thinks, well, I got a couple 55-gallon barrels of water in my garage. All right. Here's the rule to go by. 1 gallon per day per person drinking water. If there's a little bit left over, hey, that's golden, but count 1 gallon per day per person drinking water. Now, for cooking, 1 gallon per day per person for cooking. Because sometimes you do a lot of stuff that takes extra water, boiling the spaghetti, you got to use that water, and and other things, you start using a lot of water during the day for cooking a little bit more. It's like, oh, okay, now you're using a little bit of that extra drinking water. But if the next day you don't, all right, so it evens out over time. But on average, for a month, 1 gallon for drinking, 1 gallon for cooking, 1 gallon for washing dishes. At least. I plan on 2 gallons for washing dishes. Having been in the Boy Scouts, I know exactly how little I can get by on and how much we're going to need. Now, that doesn't count washing clothes.
Yeah.
Washing myself, that's 5 gallons for one of those camp showers. And we've done that at Scout Camp, and 5 gallons just about gets it where you can wash. You sprinkle a little water on you, shampoo, soap up, and use the rest of it to wash it, to rinse off. Laundry, clothing, you don't want to use the washing machine because that wastes a lot of water. You get out a couple tubs and you hand wash and you use less water. Toilet. Well, I don't want to go out and dig a trench line because I'm not sure how long this little disaster is going to last.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you got water to last for quite a while to flush your toilet? And that's one of the things people don't realize. All right, if you're going to be doing that and you got 2 toilets in the house, one toilet becomes a pee toilet, the other one becomes a poop toilet. The poop toilet, you use and you flush. The pee toilet, you just keep on peeing in it until several people have peed in it, and then you flush it once. The other thing, too, is that especially it's easier for boys than girls. I know they can go out and water a tree or a bush or mark the fence, whatever you want to call it. Now, I was hoping Bruce was going to come up here because every municipality, city, county, state that I've dealt with, and including the federal government too, is woefully short on water. They have stockpiles different places for different offices and stuff like that. And then down in the basement, they'll have, boxes and crates and pallets of MREs and boxes and crates and pallets of water with only 3/4 of a gallon per person, period. It's going to get kind of bad in those situations. People, they're trying to do the MREs and stuff, and all they got for 3 meals a day is, 3/4 of a gallon. And if they're having to do any sort of work at all, you sweat. The more you sweat, the more water you go through. If it's summertime, you just sweat normally because of the heat. So, cracking, they call it mellow yellow. Yeah. Poop in a Walmart. Oh, gear. Okay. I'm going to poop in a Walmart, put it in your neighbor's trash can at night. But the problem is, if the trash is not being picked up, they're probably doing the same thing to your trash too. So you poop and put it in their trash can. They poop in a bag and put it in your trash one. So, oops. Hey, Mayhem Studios. So one of the water situation is something people really, it doesn't sink in. Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to have Tasha up here from Mama Bear Prepper, but they're getting ready to. They're not set up yet in their new place up there in Oregon. They escaped California, and they haven't got their stuff set up to do live streams yet. Fr Humphrey, hey, how you doing? And so they, she was, and plus they're getting ready to go. She doesn't want to stay up late tonight and everything. So otherwise, she's being up here, and she's another channel. You watch her channel. She comes out with a video every day. I would say 3 or 4 out of the days of the week, she's talking about water, stocking water. Most channels don't do that.
Yeah.
Be Charming. Hey, how's it going? So if on your some of the people in the apartments, and I was hoping that Ray was going to be up here. And I know Kaylin's in an apartment, and she can talk about how she's trying to store some water, whatever she can, in this limited space she has in an apartment. Tasha, when they were in California, it was her husband, and their little one, and she was getting those water bricks. That's the stackable ones, and she had them stashed all over. When they moved, she had to dump several, I think she had 300 or 500 gallons of water out because the Navy wouldn't move those full. They'd move them empty, but they wouldn't move them full. 8.8 pounds per gallon. Yeah, and you got a 5-gallon one on. You're looking at you're looking at 44 pounds of water for one of those bricks. Hey, cosmic cultivators. And oh yeah, and Al is reminding everybody, don't forget your animals. And we'll go into that a little bit for those that have animals here. The so they had to dump like 300 to 500 gallons, I forgot what she said, of water, and they took a little bit with them, not much, and it took some other stuff, but it's now of course now they're up there. What first thing they're doing is resanitizing all those water containers and adding water to them. One of the first things they were doing up there is refilling their water. But the thing is, water is, like I say, without water, you die. And, Cosmic Cultivator says, have 90 gallons of drinking water at hand most of the time. Then outside, we have a 500-gallon rain catchment system. So, yeah, that helps out there. If you have a rain catchment system, it's great. However, remember, on your rain catchment system, after the long dry summer, you get a rain, that first bit of rain you don't want to collect because it's washing all the bird poop off the roof, all the dust, all the crap and contaminants off your roof down. And so you should have a bypass where you can just let it run on out. The bird poop can help water the garden and fertilize it. But do that. Hardneck Farms is here. Hey, Wendy. Oh, I got to put that one up. Kraken says he's too dumb to die.
Yeah, but we got to think about that too. Like most of the people out there, like they don't think about anything like this. So think about like half the population is probably going to die.
Oh yeah.
During a situation, it has to be a really big catastrophic situation. Yeah. And people in the city, nobody's going to have a clue. People don't think about it.
All right, Sandra, have a good night.
Good night, Sandra. Moody.
Yep, and Firefly Farm is in here now.
Hey, where to begin?
And where to begin, Homestead. Hey. So when you're dealing, especially those in urban situations, housing tracts, apartments and stuff, if you're, if the water goes off, or even it's not a long time, I'm going to talk about it, then I'm going to give you a real life example of what happened. All right. If, say, a construction company's out there digging and they hit the water line or whatever, you're without water for a while. If someone is on one of those kidney machines, has the water doing stuff, they got to, they're in bad shape. There's no telling how long it takes them to repair a water line. Generally, they can get it if it's not too catastrophic and it's not too big of a water line. Big is anything bigger than 12 inches. They can handle it fairly quickly and get it repaired in a day. If it's like one of the 24-inch ones, it's going to take probably a day and a half because that much water is going to eat out all sorts of dirt and stuff, blow it out. It's also going to take dirt and push it down the water line to, farther down even though the water line is broken in two, it's still going to siphon somewhat or force some dirt into it. Now, if you're talking about one of the 60-inch water lines or larger, when I was working for an underground construction company, Mountain Cascade, we put in 120-inch diameter water lines. That's a 10-foot diameter pipe. If an earthquake happens there and that cracks, you're talking, depending on where it cracks at, you're talking 2 or 3 weeks to repair that water line. All right, so here's the real life what actually happened. South San Francisco, the ritzy area between the San Francisco airport and the city of San Francisco. Really hilly area. I'm talking steep hills. I mean, cars can barely go up these hills. Mm-hmm. Nobody parks on the street because the brakes won't hold it. there was a housing tract going in, 3 phases. Phase 1 was done first, completely done. People were living in there, in the houses. Phase 2, they were they'd laid all the sewer water, all the underground stuff. They hadn't started building. The pads were cut, the roads were in but not paved, and they had laid the water line down to make the tie-in. Well, the company that was doing the tie-in was different than the ones that actually laid the water line, and this was a fly-by-night outfit. And the company we were working for was putting the main lines in on the other side for phase 3. And we got Josh here.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, everybody.
So while we were down there working, because we dug up within 3 feet of where the connection was supposed to be, started our pipe and went. The other guy was digging on the other side, and we said, hey, there's the main water line's right here. Oh, no, it's not. It's way down there. No, it's only 5 feet deep. No, it's 7 feet deep. And the hoe operator wasn't listening to his grade checker. Says, no, it's only 5 feet deep. Went down, ripped out 12-inch water line. Coming down a hill like this, all that water, gravity, was coming down. And it was coming down so fast, it created a vacuum. And you could hear the sound up on the hill there of a crunching sound, metal sound. The water heaters were all collapsing. It vacuumed and collapsed the water heaters for just about every house on that hill.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake.
Oh yeah, and everyone was there telling, and the developer was out there within an hour. What the heck happened? And everybody pointed at the hill operator. He didn't listen to anybody. He was just going off on his own. He wouldn't listen to his spotter, his grade checker. Wouldn't listen to anybody else. Wouldn't listen to the inspectors who were inspecting our side.
No.
Yeah.
And he still had a job at the end of the day?
No, he did not have a job. The union kicked him from the union. And I know they went after him for wage garnishment for the rest of his life to pay for that because he wasn't listening. But the problem was it took them 3 days to fix that damage he did, because all that water was coming down. It also eroded down the street, under the paved street around the pipe, and it was totally bad.
Well,
hey,
anytime
how you doing?
Anytime you create an erosion zone on the job site, it makes people ask questions.
Oh yeah, and especially when it eroded underneath the paved asphalt of the new street, so they had to take out the new street. Back, I think they went back about 180 feet and dug it out and we had to relay all the water line, the sewer line, because it was joint trench work there. And so that took days and days to get all that done and everything, just to hook the water back up and in the proper. They patched it up and got a connection going, and then they had some high pressure hoses making the connection, but then when they reconnected the valves, they shut it all, everything off, and had to do jumpers and stuff like that. But
that's why when you drive by a construction site, you're like, do these people do anything? Because it's like been the same for 9 months. Are y'all going to do something?
Yeah. And the problem is that it's not necessarily a big disaster. Yeah, I saw Fred.
Miss Schmutzy.
And so there's, you can never tell what's going to cause you to be without water for days or even a week or so. And so everybody should have at least a week's worth of water in their house per person, for everybody, So once again, just to harp on that, 1 gallon per person per day. Drinking, cooking, 1 gallon per person per day. And if it's only going to be a week like that, if they're going to bring water bottles and stuff in, then you have some water you can use for showering and stuff like that. If it's a construction related or a natural disaster little related thing where they're bringing water into people.
Yeah, I live by a giant lake, so I got plenty of access to filter and clean water. I live within 2 miles of a coal burning power plant. At any given time, there's 180 tons of coal sitting on the ground I can use for anything I need. Within 1.5 miles of a propane refill station.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh, so you got a coal burning power station, right?
Yes.
And that's putting off pollutants.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And if the pollutants blow over into your water on that lake.
Right. I said you had to clean it and filter it, Gil. I didn't say you just
have to clean and filter. Okay.
I mean, every redneck on the planet knows you don't drink the water in the lake.
Right. No,
Fish do bad things in it. We don't drink lake water.
What? You mean I just can't drink fish poop?
No.
I mean, you can.
No.
There's nobody saying you can't, but you're gonna have a bad day.
Oh. What
You
happens?
will.
What happens if
read-
you drink fish poop, Josh?
You become the king of the poop troop.
No, you will redefine the poop troop.
Yeah.
It'll be aquatic. Every time you poop, you're gonna hear the Little Mermaid song go off. All right, you don't want it.
Yeah. So everybody, hydrate, drink water.
I'm gonna say goodnight to my son real quick.
Now, over on your chat, Josh, Bruce made a comment to me about, so you're stocking lots of beer near water, mostly water. And I told him the only beer I stock is A&W root beer.
Yeah.
Hey man, look.
Yeah, I love root beer.
The beer is like one of the leading things that brought us out of the bubonic plague. I mean, without the fermentation process and cleaning it, everybody would be dead right now.
Yeah,
so beer is a good thing.
Beer, meat, hard alcohol, all that. Helps.
All that stuff. If you don't drink, it's still put it in your pantry for barter.
Yeah,
because you know there's going to be people that will trade a 6-pack for whatever you might need. Yeah. So it's always good to have on hand.
Okay.
Always.
All right. Monks live on it. Actually, monks live on the Sacramento wine.
Dude, I don't know. The monks freak me out, man. They do weird stuff.
All right. So one of the things that we really need to keep an eye on, and you need to check your area, is you can check with the county to find out how many times there has been a construction accident where the water lines have been damaged. They keep records of that. Oh, you better believe those inspectors keep records of that stuff.
All right. Hey, check this out. Little known fact about Josh, y'all going to learn, is my brother. My brothers are all much older than me. He has literally his whole life spent his life running water treatment plants. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you right now, do not drink tap water. If y'all are drinking tap water, stop. Figure something else out.
Yeah, I got a filtration system here. Here's the thing.
There you go.
My city, Josh, does not have a water treatment system. They test the water often, but they have
that sounds yummy.
They pull it directly from wells.
Well, that's what we have as well.
Yeah,
wells are good, man. That's probably the best, really. Yeah. I mean, Courtney's. Okay. I mean, you can't touch the ground, or cook bread, but I mean, it's good water.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to bash a company here. So if you love this company,
boycott. Oh, sorry.
This all right. There's a company out there that everybody is. Oh, it's the number one water filtration system in America. Bullpucky, Iowa, California, and a couple other states have banned them from selling in their state because their claims are false.
Okay, Gil.
Which one is it?
I want to see your hands. I'm going to ask you a question. What is the number one water filtration system?
Bretta.
No. All right. I'll tell you what I use.
Just
after researching, I use the Zen countertop system because it has a ceramic 0.5 micron filter on it, and then it has a 5-stage filter after that. However, the number one, and you can, and mine, I did a video on it showing you can see through it. You can see the water levels and everything all the time. The quote number one company is all metal. You can't see what's going on, and their claims are full of BS. And several professor types have said their claims of taking nitrates out of the water with this filter, it won't take any nitrates out of the water.
I don't live in a world of professors. I live in a world of all you need is to boil it and heat it up. I don't need cotton filter mumbo jumbo. I put it in a pot. I boil it. I throw coffee in it. I drink it.
Yeah. Well, around any farming communities, you got to be able to take the nitrates out because nitrates do work their way down into the water table.
There is more nitrates in one single processed piece of lunch meat than you'll ever be able to drink in a lifetime of water.
Or a hot dog.
And I love the shit out of hot dogs.
Yeah, I love my Hebrew Nationals, but you got your nitrates and your nitrites, two different things.
I mean, that's also taking into consideration that we have the ability to sit here and look 50 years from now. During a situation where life is day to day, you're not going to think about that. You can't. If you think about, I'm not drinking that because in 50 years from now, I might have herpetogonosyphilades.
Yeah.
You can't think about that. You just gotta, that's gonna get me to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's what you gotta get in that mindset of.
All right, Josh, let me talk on this one right here real quick. All right, so Ellie says about getting nitrates out with the nitrogen cycling stuff and aquatic plants. Okay, when I was a few years back I had a hobby of koi fish. Koi are very expensive and very temperamental on their water. I had a big pond and basically I had built a filtration system for it using like 6 55-gallon barrels. I had the biological mats in there and everything else. And I got that working so good. And I had a 16-foot long, 2-foot by 2-foot trough I built full of lava rock, sprinkled with certain biotics in it when I filled it up, special bacteria and stuff. And I had watercress, water hyacinth growing, and other stuff. The water going into the pond after going through the filtration system, when I tested it, was at 0 nitrates, 0 nitrites. The chlorine was 0. And all the other tests I did on and stuff, I preferred drinking that to city tap water.
Yeah.
That was so pure water running through the system, running through we're using the biotics for in the barrels and stuff to basically break down everything. And
right. That works perfect. That's a perfect aquaponic system using stuff that we have today. You can do the exact same thing in an aquaponic system with 45 tilapia, 500 gallons, and your own raised beds. You don't need barrels. You don't need filters. You don't need carbon. You just need fish, plants, bed, and water. And you can, it's self-sustaining. The thing is, you've got to get in the mindset of not needing anything from anywhere. You've got to be able to let the systems that you have create their own environment to live in. You can't, you've got to let nature happen. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Nature was born to survive. Nature has been here longer than humans. It wants to live. Create the perfect environment. It will thrive.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So some comments here. I'm not all right. So what I'm saying is on the Berkeys are banned California, Iowa, and several other states. And and basically for the countertop that I use here, I use the Zen. In fact, one of the generic filters for the Zen one actually works better than the name brand Zen filter does. So, and I talked about that in my video. But a couple of things. Hey, Fishes. Hey, Kathy. And there's someone else that snuck in here and I missed. Oh, if I missed you, hey, I'm still saying hi.
I'd say hi too, Gil. Oh, my bad. Misunderstood you.
Yeah. All right. Just catching up here on the chat here. What's going on here? Yeah, all right. So Kaylin's giving Cassie some information on the for a gravity fed system. If you pick up go to Harbor Freight, I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, it's made in China." Okay, and you get one of their solar panels, and you get one of their water transfer pumps that runs on the 12 volts. You can build your own little system that'll run the filters and do it 24/7.
Hey, Gil, to reiterate your fact, my buddy's whole house next door where I keep all my animals is off grid, and every single piece was borrowed at Harbor Freight.
Yeah. Oh, I have tons of stuff here from Harbor Freight. Because hey, back when I first started working construction, I bought a set of Harbor Freight drill bits. The only time I had a problem with them was when someone else borrowed them and was forcing it and bent the bit and broke it. The other still just as sharp and as good as when I bought them back in 89. Hey,
Gil, it's okay to admit that Harbor Freight's our Alta Beauty. We got this, bro.
Oh, it's good. I get a lot of emergency preparedness stuff at Harbor Freight. Hey,
and just to let you know, I could sharpen any drill bit by hand.
Blue lights at Harbor Freight. I get my Men in Black flashy light at Harbor Freight. Smile. Okay, you can't remember anything.
Do you don't name all of your weird nerd tools, do you? Because that's hard to keep track of.
Hey, no, this is just my Men in Black flashlight from Harbor Freight. But there's a lot of.
I would love a flashy thing from Men in Black. That would make my life so much easier. I'd point that and shoot myself right between the eyes sometimes. I swear I would.
Don't forget to have a pre-recorded message to yourself so you don't go vegetation.
Oh, hell no. It'd be a lot funner to try to figure it all out just waking up in a desert somewhere. Just, take like an ounce of peyote out there before you do it and then hit that button and try to figure out who you are. That would be awesome.
Oh, dude.
Sorry, y'all.
Right.
I grew up, spent most of my life on Indian reservations. Sorry, it's just a natural thing out there.
It's all good.
I spent my junior and senior year. The town of Fredonia is surrounded by the Navajo Indian Reservation. So, one of the things that you can do also, if you want to build your own filtration system, the parts are out there. You can do it. If you're worried about the nitrates in your water and you don't want to build a big aquaponic, stuff for removing the nitrates and everything else, they do have filters, specifically whole house filters for removing it, or you can just have them for your drinking water. Bathing, washing off, running your laundry and stuff, with the nitrates in it, it's not that bad.
Hey, Gil, can I ask you a question? You seem scared of nitrites, but then last week you told us you were sprinkling laundry detergent on your compost. So I'm really worried about, if you're worried about nitrites and not Dawn, I just want to know. I'm trying to get a clear delineation.
There's a difference between phosphates and nitrates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh, get with the program.
That was my parents' one back in the 70s. Okay.
Well, that's the only way you're going to lose me, Gil, if you start using big words like checkmate and shit. I don't get it.
Oh, so supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, bro, I know that one. That's off a kid's movie. I got that. And my daughter.
Now say it backwards.
My daughter could spell that at 3 years old. Just to let y'all know.
Yeah,
well, that's wonderful.
And when I was a kid, I used to be able to say it backwards from watching the movie.
But you also probably grew up with a Toy Story Woody toy too. I'm just saying.
All right. So there's different things you can do for your water to protect your water. You just need to most people, like I say, the thing I want to get across to everybody out here is check your water, the amount you have. You don't have to go out and buy a 275 gallon IBC tote, although they are easier to move around than a lot of barrels and stuff. Especially if you get the Harbor Freight floor jack, you can jack it up, move it around your garage and whatever. But there are a lot of different type of containers out there you can use. And
I mean, I totally agree with you. Water is going to be the most important thing.
Yeah.
And the thing we're trying to get across is you've got to be able to make it clean, because water can kill you quicker than anything on the planet. if you don't make it clean. So find the best thing for you. There you go. I like that.
Yeah, that's our background. So I brought up the photo, and they come. You got your 55 gallons, you got your 120 gallons, you got 30-gallon ones, you got them all the way up to 10,000-gallon tanks you can get. Of course, if you're in a residential neighborhood, you don't want to fit one of those in there because it'll take up your entire driveway and into your garage.
Yeah, that would probably be pushing it in my trailer park if I started making room for a 10,000-gallon water tank in my yard.
Mhm.
But don't think I won't try. I mean, I'll make them ask questions.
Yeah. But yeah, so there are a lot of different ones you can get out there. And actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw, did I got that other one up there yet? Okay. Let me pull it back because I was going to sing a song for you guys, but you might not like it. I know I'll get dinged for copyrights.
Look, if you're going to sing a song, if you're going to sing a song from the heart, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Go, Gil. I want to hear it. You got to sing it now.
Oh boy. All day I faced the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. All Dan and I with throats burnt dry and souls that cry for water.
It's a great song. I don't know how many John
water. Yeah, well, I'm working on some other lyrics for it that talk about Gavin Newsom and the Democrats and everything else stealing the water. So, anyways.
Oh, you cut that off too quick. I didn't even get to say one word. That ain't fair.
All right, let me pop this other thing up here real quick here. Water bricks. That's what I was going to bring up. So anyone that doesn't know what a water brick is, there you go. Water bricks are stackable. They come in either 3.5 or 5-gallon stackable bricks. Different companies make them. They got the 5-gallon stackables and stuff like that. They also go into images.
Dude,
here, though.
I'm down. Those look like adult Legos.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at this one here. Look at this one here. You can't tell
I'm
me
going to put a Millennium Falcon in my bedroom.
Hey, and the kid, you can build a fort for the kids. And they don't realize. Hey, I can't knock it down because it's salt. It's water. It's full of water. It's salt.
Okay, look. I'm gonna show you how my mind reacts even that slow. But go back, dude. Look at there was zero stability on all that water, and you're gonna let your kid run under that? I don't think so. You need at least 2x6 structure into that thing, or it's gonna smash something.
In closets and pantries, you can stack these things just about anywhere. But I'm looking for the one picture on. Oh, they come in half ones as well too. And they make some of these, like this green one here, is not for water. It's for dry goods. So you can stack it right in there with your dry goods right in there with the rest of it. Oh, here we go. Come on. Is that no, that's a sale. Dang it. I don't want that one. Those are sale. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And they have the spigot on it. So you just, you stand it up, take the lid off, put the spigot lid on there, set it back down, and you can serve right out of it. So, but there are a lot of different ways to store this stuff. Look at all the different, storing it in shelves and stuff like that. But yeah. Yeah, so here's your only gap right here, and you got one coming off this way and one coming off that way. Yeah, so.
Now look where it's sitting on the bed, Gil. It has no support, man. You'll kill your kids if you don't. You got to put boards into that or something. That's kind of a weird picture.
It's on the floor.
Right there. But look where it's leaning up against the bed. There's no support.
I mean, on this side over here?
Yeah, look, dude, I've been in manufacturing too long. I see the little things.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you don't have a support right there where it's leaning against whatever it's leaning against,
yeah.
I mean, you're going to have 1,000 pounds of water in that thing.
Actually leaning, I think they're stacking.
But it is cool.
Yeah.
I would love to build a castle out of one of those. We could totally do that in my backyard.
Yeah. But yeah, so
well,
this is the small stuff where you want to do a little at a time. There's I'm looking up here for some of these other ones here. Cross here, stackables, the other ones. Okay, now But there are a lot of different ways you can store water. There's a lot of different, there's, besides that, there's those no, actually not 5 gallon. There's 6 gallon ones at Walmart. Of course, now they used to be able to get the 6 gallon one for $9.99. Now it's $18.99.
Yeah.
So,
but water's going to be key. You can go forever without food. You can't go. You need water. It's the most important thing.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how little food you can survive on. Of course, that would help me get rid of this extra 40 pounds I'm carrying here.
I mean, but you also got to realize that if you have, say, a village of 45 people without water for 3 days, and they all become delusional because granted, in that 3 days, you're going to suffer severe headaches, diarrhea, vomiting. Your body's going to go into shock. So the objective, if you don't have it stored for a week for surplus, it doesn't. You go downhill so fast in dehydration that you don't have time to recoup it because everybody's there. It's got to be something that you set up now. It has to be set up now while times are good, so you don't have to worry about it later.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's the number one failure of most preppers. Now,
it's the reason the Black Plague is so prevalent.
Homesteaders like Courtney have a well, but what happens if the well pump burns up on them?
Hand pump.
Oh, you got a hand pump. Do you have spare parts?
A bucket.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one thing that when we had the well, and we lived in California, we had 2 pumps because after one went out, we got my dad went and bought one just like it. I said, screw this. I went down to Sears and I got the big 2.5 horsepower one that was a lot bigger, and I got that and I plumbed it all in. So if one goes out, we just turn a couple valves, and now the other one's running. And then we also went and got extra foot valves on it, the jet foot valve on the bottom, because they had 2 pipes going down. One would push, smaller pipe push water down through the jet and help bring the other up. So we got extra parts to replace this whole system twice. And there were times when the stuff broke and we were fixing it, and it took us like a month to find someone that carried those parts again to get our stock back up.
Right. It's wonderful to live in the age we live in where everything is at the touch of a finger.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the mindset that survival is not how much you have there or how much you have there. It's a mindset and mentality. That's 100% of the game. I mean, you got to get in a different mindset if you're going to in your life. It's a different ballgame. It's not. I've done it. I've done it without. I mean, when I was growing up, from the age of 5 to 12, we went to the grocery store once every 3 months. We never went. I mean, that is self-sustainability at its finest. I'm nowhere near that now. I get that, but I mean, that's how you have to get in that mindset now when times are good, so you can build everything the way you want it, with the filters you want it, with everything the way you want it, and you understand it. So when everything shuts off, you won't even know it. All
right, Bruce, when you were working for the EOC up there, as did that municipal? I think that was county. Did the county have a water storage plan at all? All right. The bigger issue would be the panic that if the entire grid goes down. And you're going to leave if the entire electrical grid went down, water treatment plants, they may have backup generators to run for a week or so. But once they're out of fuel, they can't get more fuel, because basically it's just going to be, so they're going to be screwed there for being able to make it. And even if they are able to get some fuel to keep their generators going, the plants that make the chemicals they use, if the grid is down, they're not making those chemicals anymore to treat the water.
I mean, I understand that, but here's the thing: 90% of the population are not us. We are different. They will absolutely go batshit crazy. And the main thing coming out of the first 90 days is not going to be water, food. It's going to be mental health. You have to keep the rest of the 10% of that population from having complete psychotic breakdowns of what
which
they are
is not going to happen. People are going to be killing each other left and right.
Yeah, it's going to be such an epic breakdown. If you live, you will be glad you could drink out of a bucket of rainwater.
Yeah. One of the statistical reports on a major total collapse is that after the first 30 days, the suicide rate is going to skyrocket so high that for the first year, the loss of life will be at least 10% for suicides.
And I'll tell you right now, it will be immeasurable.
Yeah.
They will not have a computer that would keep up with it.
Yeah. And so if it is a total collapse like that, all right, all the data and stuff shows anywhere from, depending on what causes the collapse, anywhere from a 85% to 95% die off in the first year.
Right.
For sure.
The biggest portion of that is going to happen during the wintertime.
Yes.
Yep. I agree.
So and then
And then
of course as soon as it goes, all the creeps are going to crawl out of the woodwork and think, oh, cool, there's no more law. I can do anything I want, and so there goes the other 75% of all of the deaths are going to start coming from that.
That's right.
And that will go right back to storing water, like you were saying, Gil, in anything you can, because there's a 100% chance all the water sources you think are clean now are going to have dead bodies floating in them by the time that happens.
Mm-hmm. I mean, heck, we know. All right, in California, for the cities of Martinez, Concord, Lafayette, just lost the name of the one out there. Clyde, Danville, Alamo, San Ramon, all get their water from the Contra Costa Canal. The canal people are constantly pulling out dead animals out of that water.
Yeah, man.
So that, because it's like a big cement V ditch, and the water's flowing there, and the squirrels kind of jump across, and they fall in, and other ones get swept away because it's a high flowing water. It's not slow flowing; it's moving pretty good, and they get carried away, and they go out there, and they're always pulling dead animals out before it gets to the treatment plant, and then the screens at the treatment plant are pulling more animals out. That's why they have to process the water so much, is because of the animals that were in there. And then, of course, you got all the branches on the trees over the canal, and all the birds are up there pooping in the canal.
But you also got to realize that you're talking 15 days after a collapse. Those animals are gone. There will be nothing left. They will be hungry. There will be no squirrels running around to fall in canals. Yeah. The bird won't land. I mean, everything, it will change the geographical makeup of migrations on the planet when something like this happens, and it will throw the whole world into chaos. Nothing will be the same. So you got to prepare for nothing
Yeah. So like, so basically, hey, air, we really can't do, nothing about storing a lot of air unless you have a lot of huge tanks and filtration systems for that, and that's cost prohibitive. Water is something you can store, but it's something that most people don't pay attention to, and they don't. Once they pick up their first 5-gallon jug of water and go, "Holy crap, man! This is almost 50 pounds." They start getting very lax on how much water they store. Oh, one thing I almost forgot: if you have any sort of these containers, any type of containers, let's see. Let me go back over here real quick.
If you say
any of these stackable containers, any of these containers, do not, repeat, big bold letters, do not store them on cement. You need to have some wood or rubber between them and the cement. Pallets are better because that gives an airspace as well. Believe it or not, these will, when you have one of these full of water, it will suck chemicals out of the cement, lime and some of the ash stuff, chemicals, through the plastic into the barrel. And you'll have And that water will be so tainted you won't believe it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, cement's toxic.
Wow.
I'm so glad all of our houses are built on it. We're all going to die.
Yeah. I got to make a comment on something here. Life Straw works on pre-filtered, semi-clean water, and you got to have a way to reverse flow wash it to keep it clean, to keep it working for the amount of gallons they say it can do.
Yeah, I mean, the Life Straw will work if it's in a pack, but here's the downside to the Life Straw. The Life Straw, you have to put your head to the water. Yeah. That means you're taking your eyes off the surroundings. If you've got your head in a puddle, you ain't looking at the guy over the hill looking at your backpack. You want a system to bring it up, to keep your head on a swivel, aware of your surroundings, and not have your head in a puddle.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things to do if you're going to go out there after the event trying to gather water that you got to watch out for, because everybody's going to be looking for water. And and so basically, if you can gather water, you want it at a creek or something, you want to have buckets where you take it and get the heck out of there before anybody else spots you. And then
honestly, I just think the Life Straw whole bit, whatever it is, I just think it's worthless.
Yeah.
It's
most of them are the what I'm trying to remember the name of the good one out there that actually
Live Straw.
Set up, huh?
Live Straw?
No, there's a different one that is set up where it's set up to be backwashed and cleaned. So basically, you filter so much water through it, you take a little bit of that water and force it back through it to clean out the membranes and stuff.
I mean, I still think a ferro rod and a tin cup is the best way to go. It's a fail-safe. It never needs anything to replace it. Flame and a cup.
Sawyer, there it is. Sawyer, yes. Sawyer is a lot better, because I know Will at Just in Time Prepping and several others did reviews of Life Straw, and some of them got some of the Life Straws that were so bad they couldn't even suck air through it.
Survival Living has a whole video on the brand new Life Straw with the Camelback on his channel, and it makes it to where you won't die, but it still looks like it doesn't look appetizing to drink.
And then you'd get the average person that doesn't know squat about it.
Right,
and
yeah.
Like, ooh, look at this. I'm going to have clean water because I have a freaking Life Straw.
And they stick it in a mud puddle.
It isn't going to work.
Right. If you can teach them to make, you got to learn how to make fire, contain water, find water, and, snare small game. You'll get a lot further than anybody that's stacking 10,000 rounds of ammo to the roof thinking they're going to take on the federal government.
Right,
I'll tell you that
right
now.
Yeah.
That's truth.
Yeah.
It's called living in the shadows. That's way past the gray man status.
Yeah, we've hit the 1 hour mark, and I hope I haven't offended too many people out there. But this is something, some of the stupidity out there about water, or not talking about water, talking about other stuff, just chaps my hide.
I mean, here's the thing, Gil. We got to use our words matter. It's not stupidity, it's ignorance. Ignorance is not a bad term. Ignorance is mean they just don't know. No. And the more people you show, the less you got to worry about it. I mean, you've got to. You're doing a great job here. We're all doing good jobs here. It's the knowledge. You got to give them knowledge. Is way better than anything you can put on a shelf.
Yeah. The thing is, though, the one thing that really chaps me is the ones that say, "Oh, you got to do this other crap." First.
Oh yeah, I mean but I mean that's what we're here for, to fix it. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm 300 pounds. Walking chaps me. I'm sorry.
All righty, so we're going to wrap it up here with some coming attractions here real quick. Courtney, do you have one tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm going to be on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Backlash Fisherman, and I believe he's doing a giveaway as well, 9:30 p.m.
Cool.
We'll be there.
9:30 on Wide Family Farm, WHYDE, and so that's 9:30 Eastern Time. Then on Thursday, back here on Gray Man Prepping for Thursday Talk, where we're doing scenario-based events. The event that we're going to be talking about is after California slides into the ocean, what are your plans now?
The same thing I do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Go to a rave.
I don't know. I'm going to be upset. I'll miss Steve at Corsair Trainers, but like I will correlate it to this. Like everybody's talking about over in Russia and all there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Why do I not care? Because I live in Oklahoma. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, Josh. Now Steve may slide into the ocean, but Uncle Al's going to wind up with beachfront property.
Oh yeah.
He's on the other side of the fall.
There ain't nothing going to get rid of Uncle Al. Mega tsunami. Subduction faults. Nothing. He good. He'll be all right.
Aliens. Yeah.
I picture him on his golf course behind his house putting the green while this is all happening.
All right. So Friday night, my gray man prepping on Thursday night is 10 o'clock Eastern. Friday night on Camp Patton Family Compound. It's for the Friday night on the Homestead is what new animals are you considering to get? And we're talking about, we're going to talk about animals again because people are thinking about it in the spring about getting animals.
That's right. Yeah. Leah, we're thinking about quail, so I'll join that.
Yeah. And so when you're talking about animals, the ups and downs of different types, chickens, quail, pigs, goats, llamas, whatever. And we're talking about that on Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern.
What's that one?
And then on Monday at 8:30 Eastern, because Courtney's at 10 with her Media Monday. So at 8:30 Eastern is the Monday night Fireside Chat. We're going to be talking about moving your animals around and oops, they got away. So we're going to talk about, things to do to keep them from getting away and how to catch them back again and precautions and just telling funny stories about animals getting loose. So it's going to be a more relaxed one on Monday night. And then next Tuesday here for Tactical Tuesday, talk about investing in your preps. Do more or do less. Spend more or spend less. So that's what we're going to be talking about next Tuesday here.
Gil, after all that, I'm just trying to find some more time for me to go live. You're killing me, bro. You know that, right?
Well,
you got more shows than days in the hospital. I mean, what the hell?
Well, you're all right. You're on before me here on Tuesday. Bruce, are you going to start going live again on Fridays, the hour before me on Fridays?
Well, I mean, I keep my Friday schedule
a month and a half since Bruce has been live.
Hey, I want to mention that
he was live a couple weeks ago, I think. Wasn't
he? This goes live on Friday night, and I'll be with Fishes on Friday night. So
yeah,
mention that.
Fishes comes on after me at 11:30 for the after party, Friday night after party. That's so. But
and
Saturday,
one more thing.
I'm not sure who all's on Saturday.
Well, there's a few shows on. I'm going to do an adult only show on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm not asking anybody to be there because you will think less of me. But I just do want to mention that, hey, the Poop Troop's only 99 cents a month and it's really badass and there's a lot of member stuff. Okay, bye.
All right. Yeah, and I'm going to be I've got yesterday a lot of people said that I need to do a members thing for Camp Patton Family Compound. So I'm going to be putting a video with some ideas and stuff and get feedback to see what you people want from Camp Patton Family Compound.
Yeah, I hear you, Gil. We should just have Courtney put some instructions on her coattails. You'll be all right.
Well, what? Actually, I'm going to be picking her brain about doing things. Sorry. All righty, folks, we're going to wrap it up here now. And so, as always, I'd like to remind everybody, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps water, food, medicine, clothing, skills, and anything else you think you might need to make sure you thrive in a disaster situation. All righty? So, see you guys later.
Bye.